ladies and gentlemen, this is a Monday edition of Half Baked Sports.
Yeah, he likes to make up shit. This is just another Half Baked Sports episode. We're just happen to doing it on Monday. Nobody was available Friday. Sunday was championship weekend on college,
and that was some good games, except for the last one.
Honestly, I'm in spite of the loss, I'm proud of the Iowa Hawkeyes to hold Michigan to 14 points in the first half.
They started out great.
But my problem is they gave up 4, because they went up to 21-3.
Yeah.
In the third, and then they gave up 3 more touchdowns to beat them 42-3.
It's kind of like Houston. It's like you watch that game. I watched that. First
basically,
half
it's
game.
like the game doesn't show how good of a fight they put in because it looks like a blowout.
Yeah.
But if you were to take a look at that first half, outside of that huge pass play that they broke away, and the pick six, it was a huge pass play that got him the touchdown, and then the pick six on Iowa. That's what got him the 14 game.
No, I was talking about the Michigan, the running back number 2. He got that big run.
He got the big run too.
Other than that, they stopped them. They held them down.
Iowa
defense,
man.
They scoring runs with 1 yard, 1 yard, 2 yards, whatever.
Yeah. And of course, in the honor of their first win, sporting Calvin Johnson, go Detroit Lions.
Okay, and that's something we're gonna touch up on real quick.
Man, I mean, because I honestly I did not realize that they were. Well, I knew they had the tie, but I didn't realize that they didn't even have a win.
They didn't have a win, and they shouldn't have won that game. They came back. They had 54 seconds left, and they're driving down the field, and they went into prevent defense. Okay, that's fine. You're not giving up nothing big, but then you get down to the 12-yard line. It's 4 seconds left. You go all the way to the back of the end zone. The touchdown is thrown in the front of the end zone. I'm like, what the hell was y'all?
It's almost like they're scared to play football. I don't get it either. But
they didn't want to get
you see it all the time though.
But what you call it? They didn't want to get a pass interference call in the end zone, which puts them at the 1 yard line. But it's 4 seconds left.
I'm sorry.
It's 4 seconds left. You got to
risk it. You got to risk it.
And
if you're too scared to play, you're giving up the game.
And they gave up.
Honestly, and the team that I have to give kudos that went for the win, and people are like, yelling out about is Baltimore. Baltimore. People are. But the funny thing is, you remember this actually happened a few years ago when they played on Thanksgiving night. I want to say it was Steelers at Baltimore, and Steelers were in that same position. The same thing happened. They got the last second score. They knew 2-point conversion. If they win. If they get it, they win. If they miss, they lost. And so Tomlin, I mean, think about it. You don't want to risk an OT unnecessarily.
Yeah, because you're not guaranteed an OT.
And so
look what Tebow did in Pittsburgh.
And you're not. And of course, it's also when you're in enemy territory, you're on the road. You don't want to play that OT if you don't have to.
And the thing about it was the play was open. He just didn't catch the ball. He literally just didn't catch the ball. Unfortunately, that happens. But I don't blame him for going for it. Just like I didn't blame Pittsburgh, so many years ago for going for it. But it's funny because whether you make it or whether you don't, you still get criticized, and it's just like drives me nuts. I like that strategy. You look at those cliche movies like The Replacements and The Longest Yard. What did Michael Irvin say? Winners always go for the win. Well, no, we convicts, we go for the win. And in The Replacement, he said, winners, I want the ball. Winners want the ball.
Always want the ball.
In their hand at crucial moments. This was a crucial moment. He had the ball in his hand. He got the play he needed. He executed the quarterback side, but the tight end didn't catch the ball. And
it was a little bit too far ahead.
You touch it, you catch it. I'm sorry. It wasn't nobody near him. He could have steadied himself and caught the ball. But at the end of the day, like Josh said, you go for the win. You don't just play the time.
I give him kudos for that. I really do.
I don't have a problem with that.
You look at Detroit versus Minnesota.
Although
Detroit went for the win.
I don't like the fact they gave Pittsburgh another win. Not that it matters. They're still
gonna be the same team.
They're still two games behind.
They're still in the hunt.
But it kept them in the hunt though, and it pushed Minnesota out of the hunt with what they did with Detroit.
Oh, that's true though.
But at the end of the day, like the Texans stunk it up as usual. I mean,
that was 0 points.
I know.
They got less than 40. They got 48 yards passing.
Tyrod got benched in
48 yards passing.
48 yards passing. I'm
48. 48.
This is like everybody say, oh, they rebuilding. What you rebuilding on? You ain't got
about to curse. Sorry, people. What you rebuilding on? I mean, just go out there and play. I mean, they're like, put Davis Mills in and let's see what he got for the rest of the season. He's been playing the whole season.
They got the participation award today. I mean, on Sunday.
Right.
Oh, that's that everybody played in the game.
Everybody played trophy. You're all winners in my book.
And then the Chargers doing what they did to Cincinnati.
That shocked me though.
I was like, oh wow.
And correct me. That was in Cincy.
It was in Cincy. It started with that. It was a close game. They was actually up. They let Cincinnati come back, but then Cincinnati started turning over the ball, and they capitalized on every mistake Cincinnati made. And I got to give the Chargers props. And Hibbert was throwing the ball lights out. He was on target again. And I remember I said at the beginning of the season that kid got something over there. And if they can keep this momentum keep going, I think Patrick Mahomes and the Raiders. Well, you saw the Raiders lose. Denver, it's a shootout over there now. In the whatever that conference is, West.
In the West, yeah. But I was, I'm more concerned with the North there because it was Cincinnati dropping that game at home. I mean, they're still looking good. They're a game behind Baltimore. Steelers are 2 games behind.
And I don't know where Cleveland is.
Cleveland's at the bottom, 6-6.
Like I said, I didn't know where they were. But even at 6-6, they still got a shot.
Cleveland needed
if they win out.
No,
Cleveland needed Odell.
I mean, if they win, win their rivalry.
I disagree because every time we've ever talked about it, Odell has always been a detriment to Cleveland because Baker feels obligated to feed him the ball. So now that he's gone, I think they're still struggling to find their identity. But I think that coming down to this stretch, they might be able to do something, but let's take a look.
They can play spoiler.
We have the trusty paper right here. Let me take a look at Cleveland.
They can play spoiler.
I just honestly believe they needed they need to move on from Baker.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to move on because they're a running team.
Yep. All right, so here's their last 5 games. All right, they have San Francisco next week.
Winnable.
At Denver.
Winnable.
No.
I say winnable.
Baltimore.
Not winnable.
Kansas City.
Not winnable.
And at Cleveland. Okay, that was Cincinnati. My bad.
Okay. Remember, just say that again. Cincinnati starting again.
Hold on.
No, this is Cleveland. He's
he was calling out Cincinnati games. That's why I was saying.
Cleveland had a bye week this week.
Okay, yeah. They got to win.
So they got Baltimore.
Lose.
Vegas Raiders.
Loss.
At Green Bay.
Loss.
At Pittsburgh.
Win.
And Cincinnati.
Loss. Okay, they're out. I'm sorry, they're out.
They
might get 2 of those.
They would need at least 3 to be.
and
they're not going to get it.
And it doesn't look
if they go back to their true identity, which is a run first team. If they go back to that, they can win out.
Right.
They can potentially win out.
Baltimore,
except against Baltimore.
Baltimore's coming off a loss, right? Baltimore's going to come back next week with a vengeance
and be upset.
Raiders is a winnable game because they haven't been playing well, but then they got to go to Green Bay. No, Green Bay's going to beat them up. Then they go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a coin flip, but it's in Pittsburgh. That's going to be a tough one.
Well, they're going to lose Pittsburgh,
and then they got Cincy, and if that has any kind of implications for Cincinnati making the playoffs,
But 4 out of those, what is it? Is 4? Is it 5? Is it 5 more games?
5, yeah.
No, that's 5 games.
They got a bye week.
So 4 out of those 5 teams do not have a strong run defense.
No,
the only one that has a strong run defense is Pittsburgh
and Green Bay.
That's why I said
Green Bay's okay, not strong, but decent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Your true strength is running the ball. Once Chubb and what's his name, Kareem Hunt are healthy, you got it.
And they're the only team with still one
because you're running the ball, you holding on to the ball.
So
you're keeping their offense.
Right now, they're still at the bottom. It's Cincinnati's and Baltimore's to lose. I don't know. I just don't see it.
I don't see them losing it. The most that Cleveland can do is play spoiler to a bunch of people. And that's
But the way Baltimore, but you have to think about the way Baltimore and Pittsburgh are playing. They're playing struggle football. They're not really just lights out. I'm beating everybody else. You look at the game. Look at the game they did Sunday. They struggle both sides. Struggle.
But you look at a lot of these teams right now. Unless they playing garbage teams, Houston, the teams are struggling. Even Kansas City was struggling just to get that win they got yesterday.
But remember what I was saying. Once the NFL catches up with that team is just an average team. That's just what it is.
And like you said, he only looks for 2 people.
Yeah, he only looks for 2 people. Plus, he can't read coverages. If they're playing the same coverage over, all the teams are playing that cover 2 shell to you the whole time, and you still don't get it.
Well, cover 2 shell they played on
Kansas City,
Jackson. Cover 2 shell was on Jackson. No, it was Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah.
Kansas City. Jackson, what they did was they contained defense.
But even he didn't get it. He was like, okay, like I said, like he saw the contain, but then you're still trying to scramble. You're contained.
The thing is, he's trying to scramble outside instead of. He had a clear path up the middle. He still tried to run outside.
But even if he got outside, he's getting tackled by the linebacker.
Yeah, but I'm saying instead of taking a sack way back there, you get tackled.
Or the thing he's talking about with everybody else is that, hey, I'm a quarterback. Okay, you gotta when Andrews dropped in the middle of all those zones, you should have threw it. He pulled back because he wasn't sure about his throwing capability. True. That's why he took that sack.
But okay, well, when you look, we're covering a lot of the AFC right now because that's where most of the drama is, and I want to keep it there. But the thing about Mahomes and company, will they make the playoffs? Probably as a wild card. They're not winning their division. I'm sorry, they're not going to win that division.
I think they are winning the division.
No.
Who?
No.
Kansas City's number one in their division.
They can't
right now. Yeah,
they are.
Yeah,
Kansas City's right now.
Remember, Vegas lost.
But hey,
Vegas lost.
Chargers are only a game behind.
Yeah, I just don't see them winning their division. I think they're gonna be a wild
Kansas City's 8-4 right now.
Yeah, because the Chargers are in the wild card. They're wild card.
Well, the Chargers are what?
AFC West
7-5 right now.
7-5.
Yeah,
and they got one more game against them, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Let me see.
1 or 2 games.
Let me see. Chargers. We just had. They got one next week, Kansas City.
Okay,
right?
In Kansas City. In
2 weeks. It'll be Kansas City because they just did Cincinnati. We got to go to the Giants. That's a win. Or no, the Giants come to L.A.
Yeah.
Then and of course it's Kansas City in L.A. So that's a winnable game.
That's why I say it's a whole different shebang.
Then we get to go see them come into Houston.
Well, that's a win.
Right, and then Denver and they end it at Vegas.
They actually have a chance. They probably could win out. The toughest game they got is
Kansas City.
Is Kansas City.
Yeah.
If they play like they played last Sunday, there's your AFC North.
Because there's nobody on Kansas City's defense.
I would say because of the last game of the season is always kind of unpredictable, and it's Vegas has nothing to lose. That could be a spoil.
Kansas City's defense is not strong enough to hold that offense.
Oh no, I don't think so.
It's up to Chargers.
That one. If I had money in my account, I would definitely put it on the over. Yeah, I don't care if it's 50.
It depends on the Chargers if they want to play or not.
It's going to be a shootout, right?
It will be a shootout.
Yeah, technically. But if the Chargers played, like I said, the cover 2 show, he's not reading that.
Oh yeah.
Float that safety around.
Let's move over from the west to the east. Buffalo, Patriots.
Well, what is the score?
Jets.
New England's got the lead,
and New England's got the lead.
Well, I mean, this shouldn't be that big of a shock. Is it in New England?
No, it's in Buffalo.
Okay.
That's why I picked Buffalo. It was in Buffalo. It was a toss-up for me.
Buffalo's had a really good run here. They're due for a bad game.
No, actually, they've been losing. They've been losing.
Then they deserve to lose.
The
Patriots have been winning now.
They won 5-6 in a row. Yeah.
All right. But
I think it started with the Houston
either way.
Right.
I'm gonna keep getting the mentions in for y'all.
Yeah.
But
my bad.
But you look at the AFC. I mean, the AFC East. I mean, like I was saying, at the beginning of the season, I said it was Buffalo's to lose, and right now, who knew? Mac Jones,
right?
Bill Belichick, New England Patriots.
Still want Cam on the team, but whatever. It's not my world.
You know what? He's back in Carolina where he belongs.
He got benched in Carolina too. That's my guy.
Where he belongs.
That's still my guy. That's my guy though. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody
say. Chuck is good for 1 or 2 of them right off top.
It's my guy though.
Okay, but we didn't cover most of the AFC. Actually, we covered all of the AFC because there's really nothing to say about the AFC South except that Tennessee is going to win that division.
No, the Colts got the division.
No, Tennessee's in first place. Second place. I'm sorry. The Colts are 6-6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
That's a moot point. Colts might make the
Colts
playoffs.
are 7-6 now.
7-6. Yeah, they won it. Yeah, but that's
so the Colts are division leaders.
No.
Tennessee is 8-4.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And that's a moot point to talk about that one anyway. Without Derrick Henry, I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee loses that division.
No, they won the games without Derrick Henry. Remember, he was injured.
But still, I agree.
No. Since he's been injured, they ain't won shit.
Yes, they have.
Who they beat?
Who did they just play?
They lost to the Texans and start from there. He got hurt the week.
Today's week 13.
Mm-hmm. He got hurt the week before they played the Texans.
Did they lose it to New England?
Yes, they lost to New England.
And no, they beat Texans.
They lost to the Texans. That's the Texans got their win over Tannehill. Tannehill threw 4 interceptions.
Oh, that's right.
That was their second win.
Okay.
Since Henry's been out the lineup, they ain't did nothing.
And then New Orleans. I think they beat New Orleans.
That's when he got hurt.
Yep, that's right.
When he got hurt in that game.
Well,
so I'm looking at it like this here. You got to rely on Tannehill to beat everybody. And Tannehill, you can say, oh well, he have no.
They're on their bye week, so they come back and they got Jacksonville at Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Miami, and then Houston again.
Well, Jacksonville been shocking the world.
So that might be the Houston's next win. Hey, good thing we got those tickets.
Right.
Maybe make sure I get me a Tennessee Titan jersey for that one. But okay, so let's switch over
in honor of Derrick Henry.
In honor of Derrick Henry, it's going to be a Derrick Henry jersey. It ain't going to be nobody else over there.
I guess I gotta hop on Fanatics later.
And so like we're gonna switch it over to the NFC now. Which division we gonna start with?
Let's start with the East.
The East,
everybody's favorite.
The East.
The Giants, the Cowboys, the Redskins, and the Eagles.
The Redskins disappointed me this season.
Oh, definitely.
The defense is what let you down. The quarterback is playing.
And the
sad
good thing is they're only 2 games back. But you're right. I mean, with all that talent, I expected more.
I know.
They started out with a bang on the defensive side. And somehow it just fell apart.
And then they lost Chase Young for the year.
And I think that had a lot to do with it. When you look at the Giants, I mean, it's like just try to make some good games, play some good football. I mean,
what the Giants need to do is cut your losses, man. Daniel Jones is not going to cut it. He's a backup.
They are. They're moving on from him.
Who's the other quarterback?
I can't remember where I saw, but somebody posted something about they're moving on. They're maybe talking about trading him too. I don't know, but they're going to try to find somebody else.
I'm pretty sure the Texans.
And he's been there 3-4 years now.
Yeah,
this is third year. So
I wouldn't trade him. I'd just keep him as a backup and draft somebody else or get somebody.
Well,
else.
there's no quarterbacks coming out of this one worth picking. Be honest with you.
What's his name?
Radcliffe is probably the only one.
Well, what was because we were just having that conversation with Larry on Saturday. Who did he say was coming out, but was going to go late?
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, the one from
Ohio State, right?
Ohio State.
Yeah.
No, not Ohio State, Georgia. The one from Georgia.
The one from Georgia's coming out.
I think the one from Georgia's coming out.
Oh yeah, and he might go a little higher then.
Yeah.
Maybe not top 10, but top 25.
Or since the Giants do kind of have a a good cap size, you can trade.
They can trade up for
him. Deshaun.
Deshaun.
He might want to go, but
I don't know.
He wants to be an Eagle.
You have to understand.
He wants to be an Eagle.
Giant. Okay, New York tends to do things a little differently when it comes to organization and how they run their teams. I don't think he'll have any say, and I don't think he'll go to a team like that.
Yeah, and they just cut
it's
Garrett.
The money. You got the fame, the lights, the stage, the platform.
But see, I think he wants to be.
But that's not him anyway. But that's not who he is.
Yeah,
but he wants. He's not a person like that.
If you look at it, okay, you got Saquon there. You got a run game. You got.
Well, I'm not saying they don't have the. They have the elements.
You don't have pretty good wide.
You have all right receivers.
You have the same wide receivers you got in Houston over there.
Okay.
Well, take a look at what's coming. I mean, you're going to have plenty of people to choose from out of the draft because there's some really good receivers that are coming out.
This draft should be mostly defensive players and wide receivers coming out of college, and maybe some couple running backs.
Oh, and always a good lineman or two.
Yeah, definitely some offensive linemen from Iowa. Remember Josh?
I think Larry's still laughing about that comment.
I'm not gonna tell y'all about that one, but trust me, it was hilarious.
I have no problems.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, apparently there was a commentary about how pale the Iowa Hawkeyes look.
Offensive line.
And I go, man,
where are all the black guys?
I know
we got some black guys.
I know we have them there. I see them there when I go visit. I know we have.
I said they over on Michigan side.
There was quite a few on the Michigan side. But
I would take me a cornbread fed person.
That's what I said.
I don't care what y'all say. You don't understand.
to protect me at all times.
To protect
it was Larry that pointed out we had one running back that was black, and then there was the receiver.
They had one wide receiver.
One wide receiver, and black. Everybody else was white. And the other one, I go, no, he doesn't count. He's too light skinned.
Yeah, that was the running back. That was that was a wide receiver.
It was.
That's the one that caught the touchdown. I remember. And the thing was, Larry started laughing. And Larry didn't stop laughing for a whole 5 minutes. I mean, he could not stop laughing. He tried to.
Like I know that. I just what I think is that with the talent, all the good talent goes to the SEC.
Yeah.
So and nothing against my the Big Ten teams, but Iowa's just not a place that people want to go. Yeah. There's not much in Iowa.
Like you said, it's really not much there. Where's your party town at? Iowa City.
Well, in Ankeny, because that's where the Iowa State campus is.
Okay, so
and that's just north of Des Moines, or Ames. Sorry, Ames. Ames, Iowa.
Yeah, okay. Now we know why.
I haven't lived there in 20 years. Give me a break.
But going back to what we said about the quarterbacks coming out of college, going to the NFL. I mean, a lot of teams don't really need a quarterback right now.
They do.
Not as bad. Not as bad as some others. But there's some other quarterbacks that they can trade for. So it's a bunch of second stringers that can easily go somewhere. Garoppolo probably gonna get traded this year.
Need to go to the Jets.
He probably gonna wind up in New York. Now him, I can see being in New York. That's his kind of thing. But when we're talking about the Cowboys, the Redskins, the Giants, and then you got the Eagles. The Eagles are up and down. You don't know what you're gonna get. But they play good, they play bad. They play good, they play bad.
The Washington football team and the Eagles are 2 games behind Dallas. Now, we've seen Dallas implode many times. And so let's go ahead and take a quick preview of what they have here.
If they playing each other, I give it to Dallas. So if they playing other people, then it's wide open.
But the main reason the Eagles and Washington's up and down is because they always have a change. The only person that has a consistency is Dallas. That's the only one that has the same.
So the only one that has a consistency,
same organization,
is the inconsistent Dallas team.
Right,
Roger. Okay, yeah. So they just beat New Orleans on Thursday night, right? Mm-hmm. So they have at Washington.
That's a win for Dallas.
At the Giants.
That's definitely a win.
Then they host Washington.
Win.
Host Arizona.
Lose.
And at Philly.
That's the one right there.
I think they lose at Philly. They lose at Philly.
And they at Philly too. I think I get at the Philly.
You know what? They're not sweeping Washington because they're.
So which one you think they're
going to lose? For some reason,
are they going to lose at Washington, or
they're probably going to lose? Dallas tends to lose at home more than they lose on the road.
And if they've already beaten the team, they'll take them lightly.
Right.
I'll buy that for $1.
So you say 2 wins and 3 losses. So they're 10-7.
Well, yeah, they've got 5. Yeah. So yeah,
they're gonna make the playoffs because they're gonna win their division. I'm just saying.
But then that means Washington or Philly could potentially pull up with like 9 wins themselves
and make the play and
make a playoff,
make the
wild card spot. Yeah,
and Dallas got to play them and lose.
Right, like they did. What was it? A couple of years ago? Well, was that last year?
Well, hey, let's go ahead and talk about the North real quick because the only team coming out of there is Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Next one up is Minnesota, and with their win, they would be at 6-6, but they just lost to Detroit. And they don't even really. They're not even. I don't even give them a chance for a wild card spot.
No, I don't either. Not if they're playing like they play.
None of the teams, because Minnesota's 5-7, Chicago's 4-8, and Detroit we don't need to cover
1 and whatever.
What 1-10-1?
Right.
NFC South, Tampa Bay. Everybody else is 4 games back. I mean, that's
the rest of that division is in the no
5-7. The rest of the division.
Okay, never mind.
They would have to win. They would have to win 4 of the next 5,
and they got to play each other. So one of them ain't gonna make it.
Okay, so Tampa Bay's coming out of there.
Yep.
So you
got Tampa Bay and Green Bay. So then your extra is going to come out of either the West or the East.
It's going to come
out of the West.
Shoot, it's going to have to come out of the West because
the East is going to get one. They're going to get one.
No, because I mean,
Philly and Dallas,
Philly and Dallas, possibly, maybe even Washington if like you said they get a split. But West, it's looking like it's Arizona and Rams. San Francisco, I don't think has got enough to come out with a win.
They just lost to Seattle. So
no.
But no, they're still in the wild card.
6-6.
Barely.
Yeah, they're 6-6 with 5 to go.
Bottom of the wild
No. I mean, I think they're at the bottom of the wild card.
No, there's a 7-6 team before them.
Okay.
If I remember that chart, I was looking at
there's a 7-6 team before them.
Okay, then yeah, you're right because that puts them right behind Philly.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think they're gonna make it. Right now, Arizona, they don't even have a lock on there. This either Arizona and Rams would be one. The other one's going to be the wild card.
Wild card team. Well, okay, let's take a look. Rams. No, not Rams. Arizona. They just played Chicago, right? Yeah. So their next game is Rams. They host the Rams. And so that'll be a true test right there for them. Mm-hmm. Then they go to Detroit. That's a win. They host Indy. That's a win. They go to Dallas. That's a win. Arizona's looking like they could potentially win out with finishing their.
They already beat the Rams once.
In Seattle, they have Seattle at home in Arizona.
They destroyed
that's
the
a
Rams.
sweep right there.
They didn't beat the Rams. They destroyed the Rams.
And like I said, the Rams started out like gangbusters, then they fell off. So
after that, Arizona beat them.
So you're looking at two teams coming out of the West. You got one team coming out of the South, and everybody else is one team coming out. Well, you say maybe a second team.
If Minnesota could put enough wins together, but I mean that's going to be close between Minnesota, Washington, Philly, and then of course
they also got to get help from the other teams to lose.
Yeah,
so, well, the Rams are definitely going to be one of those wild cards.
Oh yeah, Rams are good because they're already 2 up or more.
So it's only
going
to be 2 spots. It's only going to be 2 spots left. Yeah. I would give one to Philly.
Well, there's 7 spots each side, right?
Yeah, so you got the 4 wins, and you got the Rams number 5. I would give Philly the 6 or 7, and maybe Washington.
Well, right now Arizona's in the lead with 10. Tampa Bay's right behind them with 9, and Green Bay 9. So
Dallas is number 4.
Is number 4 with 8.
Yeah.
So depending on how these last 5 games
and the Rams will be the 5th seed, so the 6th and 7th seed is basically up for grabs for Washington, Philly. Who else is there?
Minnesota, maybe.
Minnesota.
I don't think anybody's coming out of the South.
So nobody's coming out of the South. It's just it is what it is. So it's just Minnesota, Washington, and Philly then.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Frisco can beat any of their records.
Maybe if they're healthy, maybe.
Well,
it's pushing it, but I think, and that's another one. I think that San Francisco might be moving off from Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, that's why I say I think he's gonna get. That's a trade. Yeah. That's something you can trade to the other side and get some draft picks or something.
So given the crazy nature of this season, I don't even want to predict the free agency market.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody's gonna be got from dirt cheap. I'm gonna tell you that first of all.
It's gonna be a fire sale. Everybody's gonna be rebuilding.
Yeah, like they started rebuilding when they drafted all the quarterbacks in the first round this year. That was a hint. That was a hint and half for everybody. That was a starting quarterback. If you got a rookie drafted in the first round and on your team, you were not gonna be the starting quarterback the next season.
Like basically all the teams that have losing records this year will be like what the Patriots were this free agency season. You got to bow up everybody because you got Detroit that needs to rebuild. Mm-hmm. You got Houston. You got the Jets.
Yep. The Jets been rebuilding for 10 years. Bro.
Right, but I'm saying like with all these potential free agents coming out.
The problem is that when you buy your first bout of blocks, but then the blocks get knocked off, you kind of have to find something to build on.
Well, that's kind of like Miami.
Miami's in the similar, but at least Miami's got more elements.
But Miami's not building through free agency. Miami's building through the draft.
Well, you look at
because they got all those drafts. They got a lot of drafts.
When do the Falcons start rebuilding? Go away from Matt Ryan. When does that happen?
When Matt Ryan leaves is when they can start rebuilding.
When does that happen?
Well, it's got to happen soon. They're not. Because think about it. His salary is probably one of the reasons why they had to get rid of Julio, which was the biggest mistake. And then to top it off, their defense has been suspect the entire time. Yeah. So the only reason they've been able to win is by outscoring. But they can't even do that now because they don't have an offense. Yep. So when they finally decide to let Matt Ryan go, then they can start looking at how they can rebuild. Because I mean, maybe I don't know. We'd have to take a look at some of the other major cap hits that they're holding on to because they really do need to start from scratch.
Yeah,
build through the draft and free agency.
I don't think they need to gut the whole team to be.
They're already. I mean, if you take a look, they're almost already there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But like you say, the draft picks, you got free agency coming up. You got to find a replacement for Ryan. I'm sorry. He still can go, but he's just
unfortunately
he's always been that
right now. The QB situation, it's like who's out there, and unfortunately, it's slim pickings for QBs.
He's pretty much the best one out there.
Well,
for them. That's
for them right now.
Yeah, it's just like with San Francisco. Honestly, they got rid of Garoppolo.
Honestly, Goff is not going to do it over there in Detroit. I would take a risk on him.
But the contract he's under, is anybody going to want to pick that up?
No.
So
not
the same way with Matt Ryan.
They say Russell Wilson is going to be on the block.
That would be a good one. And we could definitely speculate on where he would possibly go. And honestly, I'll go on record right now. If the Houston Texans go and get him, I'll be a Texan fan.
He's not going
to
play the Texans.
I know, but I'm going on the record.
No quarterback.
I will become a Texan fan if Russell Wilson comes here.
Quarterback who knows, who has self-respect for themselves, will ever come to Houston. Once you see, think about it this way. You have Deshaun Watson.
So you're saying that I'm safe? I'm never going to be a Texan fan?
Nope.
No. I'm just saying you have Deshaun Watson. You have one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, and you can't keep him.
Happy.
And you have the capital space. You gave him the contract he wanted, and you still can't keep him. Why? That's why Russell Wilson will never come.
Because upper management didn't have the audacity to call him, hey, look, we had to make a quick decision. This is who we went with. Sorry, we didn't have time. They could have made up any excuse. Sorry, we didn't have time to consult you.
He was more upset that they didn't even interview Bieniemy.
But
I think he was more on that.
Well,
if they'd have interviewed him and said, no, he doesn't fit us, he'd have been fine with it. He said they never even interviewed the man, and they had already made
But the problem is
Deshaun, but it started with the Patriot stuff, the Patriot person.
Well, the other problem was that they went and got the GM, too.
Right. The Deshaun sees what the reason why... what's his name? Hopkins and he
saw what Andre Johnson saw.
He saw what Hopkins and he saw what Watt saw. JJ saw, because even JJ said the same thing. He demanded he wanted a release because he was sitting there saying things are the same. Because you have to understand, under O'Brien was trying to convert this team to a Patriots way. There's only one Patriots. So if you, coming from the Patriots, trying to make it the Texans the Patriots, you've already lost your identity. You already lost our locker room. They don't want to be the Patriots. Yeah, otherwise they'll go play for them. They want to be the Texans.
It's okay. It's okay to model.
Kevin Martin wanted to be a Patriot because he got a Super Bowl ring when he left the Texans, went over there and won.
Well, he got picked up by the Patriots.
And see, I'd like to go. I'd like to say one thing. And I have no problem with people taking bits and pieces that they like from the Patriot way, per se. But the only reason it works is because of Belichick.
That's it.
If you want to take some elements and make it yours and try to develop your own, locker room legacy, then do that.
Right.
But if you're trying to copy and paste,
it's not going to work. Because you don't have the main piece. You don't have Belichick. You don't have it. Because think about it.
Josh McDaniels why does it work? Because he's also the GM.
Right.
You're not the GM.
But think about it. Josh McDaniels didn't work.
Didn't work.
Matt Patricia went somewhere. O'Brien went somewhere.
Didn't work.
The only one that's working, the two working is Mike Vrabel and Brian Flores. Yeah. That's the only two.
But even then, it's not completely.
But
Vrabel's doing it his way.
His way. Exactly. He's taking elements, but working it with his
right. And same thing with Flores. But they tried to copy paste.
And the thing about the Bill O'Brien part was you went and got old Patriot players and made them coaches, and you basically brought I'm from the Patriots. I know he's from the Patriots. We can work well together. We can work with Vince Wilfork. We can work. What's the other guy? The black dude, the defense coordinator, the big dude.
Romeo Cornell.
Yeah, Romeo.
We can all work together. But then you tried to make the Texans something they weren't.
Yeah.
And that if it didn't work the first 2 years, and then you debacle in Kansas City for that playoff game, and then the next year you just trash your whole team. Yeah, Bill Belichick would have never even done that. Not in a million years would he have ever done that much.
Maybe all the Texan fans should get a class action suit against Bill O'Brien.
But
you really should look into that.
You got
that's assault. That's assault, man.
You got Flores and Vrabel doing their thing right now, and hats off to them. But like I said, it's like Chuck said. I'm sorry, you cannot take this section and try to make this whole team about this one little section.
Yeah, because he wasn't the defense. He was only the offensive coordinator. So he knows offense. But then even in his tenure there, that's when the Patriots lost. That's when we went 10-6. We went 10-6 with his offense, O'Brien's offense.
Yep.
So if he didn't work in the Patriots system,
why would
you even try to bring that over here? Man, create you a whole new system. Get you an offensive coordinator. Get you a defensive coordinator.
And the thing
just be a head coach.
He had a pretty good offensive coordinator. He wasn't using him.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't using him. I'm like, but we digress.
I remember asking that question. Does Bill O'Brien have an offensive?
He has one. He just never used his plays.
Probably the best job in the NFL.
But then when they fired him, they were winning.
Yeah, they started winning.
The offensive coordinator. As soon as they fired, they were winning.
No, they didn't start winning. They started scoring.
They
were scoring. They were in the game. They wasn't getting blowed out. You know, who runs the ball 3 times on in the fourth quarter with a minute to go, and you're gonna run the ball 3 times?
3rd and 8.
The same running play 3 times. Run it again. Run it again. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, so what we touched on was what's going on right now. So I just want to get everybody's pick on who you think is going to come out of top of your division, of the division.
Which division?
No, I mean like right now we talked about where they were. Do you think the Rams have a chance of coming back against Arizona?
No.
They're 2 games behind.
They're 2 games behind.
I mean, it'll be close.
Nope.
He says no. I think it's going to be.
I think it'll be close. I think it's going to come down to one game.
People, you have to understand. We're talking about Matthew Stafford here. Matthew Stafford has been a part of a losing team. He's on a winning team right now. He is on a winning team, but he himself has not gotten a team out of into the playoffs. When that one time they dig into the playoffs, that's because he had Calvin Johnson. You had a somewhat of a good defense. You had a good rating. Like you had the supporting cast.
Oh, and I remember
but you yourself didn't conjure them up.
They cut Young right before the playoff game for his conduct, and that's why they didn't win because it was just up to Calvin Johnson.
Right. So
I remember that.
So now even with Sean McVay. I mean, yeah, he's good. He's supposedly an offensive minded genius, but even his offense chokes. You saw it in the Super Bowl. Okay. You see in some of these games here, you see that they get stagnant, or he tries these other plays, and the other team, he just can't get past.
Outside
Arizona wins that regardless.
Outside of Arizona, Rams have Seattle, Minnesota, Baltimore, and San Francisco.
I can see them winning all 4 of those games.
I can see two potential losses. Everything else is a win.
Baltimore's probably the only one I see them might be losing.
I see them.
It's in Baltimore, so yes.
Yeah, that's the only one. Other than that, I think they'll win the rest of them.
Minnesota might give them some trouble, but I think they're going to come out ahead.
See what Minnesota did by Detroit.
I say they win 3.
I don't trust Minnesota no more.
I say they win 3 more.
The Seattle, Minnesota, San Francisco.
I'd say, yeah. In Baltimore, I can probably give them Baltimore too. Be honest.
That'll be a tough one, but it's possible.
It'll be a tough one, but it's possible for them.
Or I can see them losing 3 actually. Seattle Minnesota? Might give them a run up for their money.
No,
Seattle's desperate.
It's in LA.
They can be desperate all they want to.
Seattle's desperate, but they're not good on the road.
That ain't gonna happen. So last thing I got for Chuck is how you feel about the Saints with what's the name when Winston comes back next year.
No.
They're going to be the same what they are this year. What do you mean?
You don't think they're going to pick up somebody else?
That offense ran through Drew Brees. Drew Brees is not there. What do you want? For some reason, Sean Payton thinks something of Taysom Hill. Yeah, he got the razzle dazzle, but
that's
it. Well, he threw for 246, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Unfortunately, the 4 interceptions is going to kill him.
Yeah, and so you might, like I said, Jameis Winston come back next year.
Now, can Sean Payton scheme for Taysom to prevent the turnovers? Possibly. But it would be a mistake for him to get rid of Jameis.
I would stick with Jameis.
I think they should stick with Jameis, try to scheme him to where he doesn't
and just Taysom Hill. I'm sorry, dude.
And use Taysom as
he's never going to be a starter.
I will stay with Winston and have Taysom Hill in the slot or as a tight end for every now and then.
Do the wildcat stuff,
all that razzle dazzle stuff.
Or you trade both of them for Deshaun Watson.
No.
You think he'd be going? You think he'd be willing?
It's rumored that they're trying to go. They're gonna try to make a push for him.
I don't think New Orleans got enough firepower for Deshaun Watson.
All right,
because you have to understand the Texans have to be willing to trade him.
They are willing to trade him.
No. What I'm saying is like the Texans will have to get what deal can they get if you?
They don't have their draft picks aren't.
If you're giving me Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, I'll trade them.
They want a quarterback in the deal.
If you give me your team,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You take my team, I take your team.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said the Giants, because the Giants got more draft picks.
This could literally go on all night, so we're going to go ahead and call it right now.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, any last minute word?
One last shout out. Go Michigan.
Go Michigan.
I'm rooting for y'all for this one.
Who are they playing? They're playing Georgia.
They're gonna play. They're gonna find Georgia's failed number 4.
No, they're number 2.
No. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3.
Michigan was number 4.
No, Michigan was number 2.
Michigan's number 2.
Cincinnati was number 4. They beat up on Houston.
No, Cincinnati should be.
Cincinnati was ranked 4
because they were undefeated.
Cincinnati was ranked 4. Michigan was ranked 2. Alabama
this
was 3.
Whole college ranking screws me up. So I don't know. I know
we'll check on it.
All I know is Alabama's playing Cincy, and Michigan is playing Georgia.
Yeah, so Georgia's 4, Alabama's.
So I'm rooting for Georgia.
Yeah, shoot, hell, that you know what it's gonna set up for? Alabama to play Georgia again.
Worst things have happened.
Because Cincinnati is not gonna beat Alabama.
You know what was worse than watching that game 3 is watching freaking Pittsburgh Cleveland 3 times. Anyway, on that note, we're out.
See y'all next time.
Yes, sir.
3 times. I forgot about that. 3 times in one season. Ugh. What we looking like right now, Chuck?
It's still the same score. The Patriots doing what we always do, just run the ball.
What's the count on the clock? Third quarter, second quarter?
Third quarter, 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left in third quarter. They just doing what we always do, run the ball. That's it. Tom Brady ain't there no more. Just run the ball. That's all you do. Just run the ball.